Hey everybody, Graham McInnes here, of course, with McInnes Realty Group, eXp Realty, and this is my market update for February going into March 2022. So let's talk about where we're at in the market and what we think is going to be happening, my personal opinion and sort of the forecast of the real estate board as we move into the usually crazy and very hot spring market here in Calgary, and this year is going to be no different. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be the most active spring, a record-breaking market that we've ever seen in Calgary. Pretty much the last several months, every month over month, was a record-breaking result in terms of the total number of sales in the market, and I think that trend is going to continue, even with the newest interest rate increase. Bank of Canada has increased their rate, which is going to make interest rates go up. It wasn't a huge increase, but nonetheless, economists and all these pundits for the market have been calling this for quite some time now, and the day has finally arrived. So how is rising interest rates, how are rising interest rates going to affect the market? Well, I think it's quite clear that rising interest rates historically do have a cooling effect on markets, not just the real estate market, but on all types of markets. However, the amount that they raised it by was very small. And I think what that is actually going to do is get all the people that are on the fence to hop off the fence and jump into the market. So I think that's just going to actually add fuel to the fire of this already crazy hot real estate market that we see here in Calgary. So basically, more people entering into the market to buy. There is a severe issue with FOMO in Calgary and all the hot markets in Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, etc., which is fear of missing out, right? People have a psychology in the market, and when they see prices rising, all these news stories, all their anecdotes and stories they're hearing from their friends, family, and coworkers about, them selling their homes and multiple offers and homes selling for, $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 over the list price, which is happening in Calgary right now, depending on what type of home and what neighborhood and all these different factors. But almost everything is selling very, very quickly, and in many cases for the full price, if not over the list price. So I do believe that this rise in interest rates, and we're going to see multiple times the interest rates are going to rise over the coming year. And every time that happens, it's just going to push people further and further into that buying mode, because they want to get that low interest rate and they want to purchase a home. And every time the interest rates go up, the amount of home you can qualify for on your mortgage goes down, while the prices are going up. So it's kind of a double whammy. If you qualified for $400,000 at 2.5%, well, at 3.5%, which we'll be at very soon, you're only going to qualify for around $355 or so. And the problem, of course, is that's a double whammy, because what you can get for $355 as the prices go up becomes a lower and lower quality of home or type of home. So just as a quick example, let's just say that townhouse in Copperfield, in the city southeast, one of the hottest market segments or areas in the city right now for townhouses and single-family detached homes. Copperfield and Mahogany and Auburn Bay and Seton and Cranston and Mackenzie Town and all those neighborhoods around there, they're just on fire. And last year, if you could qualify at 2.5% on your mortgage rate for a $400,000 home, by this time next year, you'll probably only be able to qualify for $350,000. And that townhouse last year was $350,000. This year it's $400,000. By this time next year, it might be $425,000 or $450,000. I mean, who knows? Things are literally going up, they're exploding. So it's very unprecedented time, and I think that it's very important that if you're looking to buy, that and you're on the fence, that you get off the fence and get into the market and benefit from riding the wave and riding the momentum up in terms of price appreciation. Like I mentioned, more increases are coming. So again, the next one will probably be around the end of June. And everybody, again, that's getting a pre-approval today at today's rates will definitely be buying before their pre-approval expires, which will be around the end of June, so that they can purchase that lower rate and qualify again for a higher mortgage amount. Obviously, with what's happening in Calgary and the price increases that we've seen, everybody needs to get in as soon as possible if you're looking to buy, so that you can get the best quality house that you can within your budget. Currently, the other thing as well, and let's just talk about this really quick. Some of these graphics I've got up on the screen here. The market right now is really exploding in Calgary in the single-family detached market segment especially, and that's over almost all areas of the city. Everywhere is going up. The only section that's not quite seeing the increases as the rest of the city is the city center, the core of the city, mostly because it's apartments, and apartments are they're doing a lot better, but still lagging behind all the other property types. So let's just take a quick look at some of these statistics here. Sales for February. 3,305 sales. That's up 80% from February of last year. So again, 80% more home sales this year than last year. Why is that? Well, it's because there's more listings. More people are seeing, okay, the market's recovered. Now we're into this growth period, this crazy hot growth period. So I want to sell my house and move up to the next level of home, or maybe you're downsizing, and that's why you want to sell. Nonetheless, more people listed their home in February of this year than last year, and so that's why there was more sales. The thing to keep in mind is that we sold basically everything that was listed. There's virtually nothing for sale in Calgary. Let's dive into that now. What do I mean by that? So inventory, as you can see, is on a downward trend. And this is the key number right here. This number kind of tells it all. So months of supply, there is 1.09 months of supply. So that means collectively, all the realtors in the Calgary Real Estate Board, what that means is if we stopped listing homes today and only sold what was currently active on the market, we would sell out of homes to sell people in 1 month. Okay, I mean, that is unprecedented. That is just crazy. The number of listings is down 55.9% year over year. And this is why the market is the way it is. This is why the prices are rising. It's a supply and demand thing. This isn't rocket science. I know you guys know this. And there's just way more demand than there is supply. I guess we'll see what happens in the spring. Historically, there's a lot more listings that come on in the spring, but there's a lot more sales too. So maybe that will keep the market in balance in terms of the number of listings are getting absorbed, or in other words, getting sold. And so that will keep the market tight. If the market stays tight, the prices are just going to continue to rise. And the thing to keep in mind is, I mean, this is nowhere near normal. Like a normal market and months of supply would be maybe 3.5 months, even up to 5 months would be more normal in Calgary. And in Calgary, when the economy is not doing well, the price of oil is low or whatever's going on, and we're in a buyer's market, I've seen numbers as high as 15 months. In the west section, the prices are already pretty high, so they haven't gone up as much. 14.8 in the south. Home prices up 18.5%. Southeast 19.5. Guys, this is not going to stop. And sorry, what I was saying was that in Ontario and in BC, at least in Vancouver and Toronto, Greater Toronto, and Greater Vancouver, people spend 65 to 70% of their household income on their housing needs. This is a known statistic that you could research for yourself. In Calgary, the latest statistics I've seen is it's about 33 to 35%. The other thing to note is that Calgary has the highest average household income in all of Canada. The median is 140. The average household income is 160. And the average house price is, as you know, much, much lower than Vancouver or Toronto. So what does that mean? It means that if at the average household income in Vancouver and Toronto, which is like only $65 or $75 or $80,000 for the combined household income, and the prices are so crazy high, what does that mean? It means that in Calgary, there's a lot more room for prices to go up even more. And, you know, I don't agree with this. Like this sucks for everybody, including myself. but there's a lot more room for people to pay more for housing out of their combined household incomes and still be okay and still be able to afford it. You know, we'll be in a world of pain when the average house prices here get so high that it takes 65 or 70% of the average Calgarian's household income to afford the typical house. And I don't think we'll get there at all, really, but there's still plenty of room to go up to 45% of your household income goes toward your housing needs. That means the house prices will go up tremendously, but you'll still be able to afford it. You just might, have a little bit less quality of life. You might not take that vacation. You might not have such a nice car or whatever, or, you get a raise and you just put more of your money towards that. All kinds of different scenarios, but my point is, I think there's plenty of room for the prices to go up here a lot more, especially when you compare what people are willing to pay in other cities. There's just plenty. Calgary's a deal. It's a steal of a deal, even at these prices, and they're going to go up. They're going to continue to go up. So, as always, I know that was a bit of a rant. You know me, that's kind of my style. I rant and rave on this stuff. I love it. If you need a realtor, if you're thinking of selling, if you're thinking of buying, contact me, reach out. I would love to help you out. Certainly I can provide a complimentary home evaluation, let you know what your house would sell for. I've got 2 new listings coming up, by the way, that'll be on the market this week, one in Cedar Brae and one in Evergreen, both single-family detached homes, great homes, and I want you guys to know that, I'm out there, I'm listing homes, and also working with buyers, representing buyers on that side of things. So please do reach out and contact me. I'd love to help you out. That's all for now. Thanks, guys. Have a